If you thought you knew everything about human history according to the Bible, think again, because the Book of Giants is sure to blow your mind and make you question everything you thought you knew. Get ready for some shocking secrets and a journey through our true history, which is far from those typical stories of prophets and holy wars. So, what secrets does this long-lost text hold? We are talking about the Nephilim, these giant creatures born from a forbidden love affair between angels and humans. Well, forget about moral lessons and divine guidance, because this book takes us into the world of celestial warfare and cosmic descent. This text introduces us to the world of cosmic warfare, where the archangels take out their swords to fight these giant hybrids. Led by mysterious figures like Or and Ma, the Book of Giants portrays them as complex characters. They're not exactly bad people, but they're not saints either. What does it mean to be demonic? Can those who spread chaos on earth find salvation? This text, which is found in many forms from the Dead Sea Scrolls to Manichaean manuscripts, offers complex insights into these moral questions. The main thing, however, is that the Book of Giants has been hidden from mainstream discourse, residing in the murky corridors of esoteric knowledge. Why has it been left out, and what secrets does it hold? We'll find out in a new episode of Talk of Jesus. The Book of Giants is an ancient Jewish text, believed to have been written around the 2nd or 3rd century BC. We know about it mostly from fragments found among the Dead Sea Scrolls at Qumran in the mid-20th century. In 1947, a Bedouin shepherd, chasing a stray goat, stumbled upon ancient manuscripts hidden in a cave. These turned out to be the Dead Sea Scrolls, and they were incredibly exciting because they were over 1,000 years older than any previously known manuscripts. Over the next 10 years, explorers found thousands of fragments in 11 different caves in the rocky Qumran region. These included copies of every Old Testament book except Esther, offering priceless insights into biblical texts. But there were other fascinating discoveries too. Manuscripts like the Community Rule and the War Scroll gave us a glimpse into a unique religious group, possibly the Essenes, and their beliefs. Among these texts, one stood out: the Book of Giants. So, why giants, and what's so special about this book? The Book of Giants tells the story of enormous beings born from the union of fallen angels and human women. These giants, known for their incredible size and strength, caused chaos on Earth. They exhausted its resources and even resorted to cannibalism, leading to divine punishment. The giants had prophetic dreams predicting their doom, which came in the form of the Great Flood. The Bible mentions this in Genesis 6:4, saying, "There were giants in the earth in those days," referring to the time before the flood, and adds, "and also after." Key figures in this story really stand out. Enoch, known for his devoutness, is the central character, acting as a go-between for the divine realm and the giants. Among the giants, we meet Oya, Haya, and Mawe, who are deeply worried about their fate as they face divine punishment. The Book of Giants, even in its fragmented state, adds a new layer to familiar biblical stories, suggesting a world where myth and history mix together. The Book of Giants is not included in the canonical Bible. But why is that? When the criteria for the biblical canon were being established, several requirements had to be met for a text to be included. During the early centuries of Christianity and Judaism, religious leaders sought to create an authoritative list of scriptures that would define the core beliefs and practices of the faith. For a text to be included, it needed to meet certain standards. The authorship had to be by an apostle or someone closely associated with an apostle. The text also had to be widely accepted by the Christian community and contain teachings consistent with orthodox beliefs, demonstrating high moral and spiritual value. Interestingly, the Book of Giants was integrated into the Manichaean tradition. The founder of Manichaeism, a religion that combined elements of various faiths, was an apostle named Mani. He is credited with writing one version of the Book of Giants. Mani grew up in southern Mesopotamia in a Jewish Christian sect called the Elkosites. When he was 12, Mani began having visions. These visions eventually led to his excommunication, prompting him to found his own religion. Even his name, Mani, might be a religious title rather than his proper name. In Mani's version of the Book of Giants, the story is quite similar to the one found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. This version, written in Syriac, an Eastern Aramaic dialect, tells of demons escaping the heavenly realm to live on earth. While on earth, these demons cause chaos and destruction. The story highlights the battles between light and darkness, with archangels Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel leading the forces of light. Interestingly, the Bible echoes some themes from the Book of Giants. It expands on the story found in Genesis 6, which describes the Nephilim, the offspring of the sons of God and the daughters of men. Numbers 13:33 also mentions the Nephilim, describing them as so large that humans seemed like grasshoppers in comparison. These references show that ancient Jewish culture took the stories of these celestial human hybrids seriously, supporting the themes in the Book of Giants. Because of the actions of these beings, a catastrophic flood was sent to cleanse the earth. According to the Book of Giants, these beings were enormous and possessed great knowledge. However, they also corrupted the earth by teaching humans forbidden arts and sciences, leading to chaos and moral decay. The story describes how two of the giants, Oya and Haya, have disturbing dreams that seem to predict a catastrophic judgment. Enoch, a wise biblical figure known for his apocalyptic visions, interprets these dreams and confirms that a great flood will destroy the giants and cleanse the earth. So, what is the story that the Book of Giants tells? Before the great flood, God decided to send 200 of his celestial angels to earth. These angels, called the Watchers, had a sacred mission to observe humanity from a distance, guiding but never intervening. The leader of these divine beings was Semjaza. He was entrusted with the great responsibility of overseeing the angelic assembly, ensuring that God's intentions were upheld and his commands followed. Initially, the divine mandate was straightforward. The Watchers had to oversee humans and provide guidance from the shadows. They did this well for a while, but over time, the beauty of mortal women caught the eyes of the Watchers. What started as innocent admiration turned into strong desire. Even Semjaza, once steadfast in his devotion, was captivated by this new longing. Giving in to temptation, the Watchers took human wives and shared celestial knowledge and forbidden secrets with them. Azazel, one of the prominent Watchers, went even further. He taught men the art of war, the craft of weaponry, and sowed the seeds of conflict among them. The knowledge these beings shared was both wondrous and dangerous, leading to an era of unparalleled chaos. But the worst consequence was yet to come. From the union of Watchers and humans emerged the Nephilim, monstrous giants born from forbidden love. These giant creatures destroyed everything in their path: crops, forests, animals, and any semblance of peace that once existed. Their insatiable hunger turned the world into a wasteland, setting the stage for divine retribution. When the last remnants of wildlife disappeared, the giants, still hungry, turned their gaze to humans. They began devouring people with horrifying indifference, but their gluttony didn't stop there. Once humans became scarce, the giants resorted to the unthinkable, cannibalizing their own kind. In just a few weeks, human civilizations were in ruins, their once thriving communities now ghostly echoes of a lost world. Yet, from the ashes of this devastation, a strange change occurred among some giants. They formed clans, mirroring the early tribal affiliations of the very humans they had destroyed. These were no longer the same monstrous giants, but groups seeking comfort, yearning for order in the chaos. Within these tribes, emotions previously unknown to such beings began to emerge: doubt, remorse, introspection, and even fear. These feelings were new territories for creatures born from forbidden love and raw power. Haunting dreams and visions plagued the giants, signaling inner turmoil and a growing consciousness. Marwe, a giant known for his leadership within one of these tribes, was particularly tormented by such dreams. One evening, as the campfire flickered, he spoke out, his voice filled with unease. "Brethren," he began, capturing everyone's attention, "our dreams have unsettled many, but tonight I saw something that might hint at our future." The giants leaned in, captivated. "I dreamt of a stone tablet," Marwe continued, "submerged in water. When I lifted it, 4 unfamiliar names were inscribed upon it. The names," Marwe continued, pausing heavily, "were Noah, Shem, Japheth, and Ham." In the flickering campfire light, the giants felt a sense of foreboding. These mysterious names carried a sense of misfortune, causing unease among them. Marwe, deeply troubled by his dream, feared these names spelled their ruin. Oya emerged, commanding silence with his presence. His heritage from the Watchers gave him a natural authority. His twin, Haya, stood behind him, their connection to the Watchers a bitter reminder of their desertion. Oya's piercing look at Marwe was a silent challenge to the dream's interpretation. Marwe revealed that he had insight from his father, Barakel, which only stirred Oya's bitterness towards the absent angels. Oya dismissed the visions as mere dreams, recounting his own nonsensical dream of a virgin with a child to underline his point. But as the conversation turned to their collective dire dreams of destruction and divine wrath, Oya offered a different angle. Maybe these dreams were warnings meant not for us, but for the fallen angels, he speculated, like Azazel, who led humanity astray. Any impending divine punishment is likely intended for them. However, doubt persisted in Oya's heart. The idea that they could escape the consequences of their actions felt suspicious, and the thought of their fathers bearing the burden felt inherently wrong. Oya pointed to a giant standing far from the fire, where the flickering light and shadows made him look even more massive. This giant was Gilgamesh, a name known for immense strength. Even though Gilgamesh believed he was the most powerful mortal, he admitted that he could never match the divine powers of the gods. But things were changing. That night, their sleep was once again troubled by disturbing dreams. This time, they dreamed of a beautiful garden that turned into a fiery hell. Oya figured that the 200 burning trees in the dream symbolized their forebears, the Watchers. Unsure of what the dreams meant, one of the giants suggested they consult Enoch, who was known for his wisdom. The idea was quickly embraced by many, but Oya felt his own authority was being challenged. As the discussion grew louder, Oya lost his temper, shouted to silence everyone, and angrily paced around the fire, furious that they were turning to Enoch for answers instead of relying on him. The giants were stuck in a difficult situation, caught between figuring out their troubling dreams and risking Oya's anger. Despite the tension, Marwe was determined to get answers. He decided to seek out Enoch, who was known for his wisdom and divine insights. Marwe flew to the remote place where Enoch lived. When he arrived, Enoch listened carefully to Marwe's disturbing dream. Enoch, following spiritual traditions, said he couldn't interpret the dream without help from the gods. Seeing how sincere Marwe was, Enoch agreed to ask the Almighty for guidance on the giant's behalf. Grateful for Enoch's help, Marwe prepared to leave. Enoch advised him not to fly too close to the sun, a warning that showed mutual respect and hinted at future meetings. As time passed with no news from Enoch, the giants grew more anxious, still troubled by their dreams. Eventually, Enoch returned with a tablet that ominously predicted a divine judgment was coming for the giants. Furious, Oya and his twin Haya confronted Enoch, ready to fight. Anticipating their anger, Marwe stepped in to try to defuse the situation, reminding them of the looming divine punishment. While Oya was eager to face any heavenly adversaries head-on, his aggressive attitude was not shared by the other giants. Unlike Oya's rebellious stance, Marwe and many others chose to humble themselves and seek redemption through prayer. In a quiet moment of repentance, The giants knelt and prayed for mercy. Even Oya, usually so defiant, had to acknowledge the gravity of their situation and realized that asking for forgiveness might be their only chance to escape the impending divine wrath. As Enoch had predicted, the archangels soon arrived to put an end to the giants' reign. They waged a fierce battle against the giants, with Gabriel, the archangel, using his power to turn the giants against each other, leading to their defeat. Despite some giants' desperate pleas for salvation, Gabriel remained resolute and did not offer any mercy. Seeing Gabriel's unyielding stance, Marwi realized that their fate was sealed, no matter how much they repented. Soon, the earth was covered by the long-expected flood, with only an ark carrying pairs of animals surviving the disaster. Oya watched from a cliff, reflecting on Marwi's fate and the true nature of divine mercy. He wondered if real forgiveness could ever come from angry angels or catastrophic floods. Seeking safety, Oya and Haya climbed a mountain to escape the rising waters. From their vantage point, they saw something horrifying. A massive dark creature with scales and a strange purple glow in the depths below. Its mere presence filled them with intense fear. It matched the legends of the Leviathan, a monstrous sea creature. The Leviathan attacked with terrifying speed, signaling a fierce battle ahead. Oya narrowly escaped the creature's deadly grasp and nearly lost his staff on the cliff's edge in a moment of panic. Regaining control, he looked up to see the Leviathan looming above, its giant head blocking out the sun. To his horror, he saw that the beast had caught his brother Haya in its jaws, leaving him lifeless. Seeing his brother's body, Oya was consumed by rage. He charged at the Leviathan, fiercely attacking its eyes with his staff, each strike fueled by his desire for vengeance. After landing several blows, Oya's staff slipped from his grip and fell into the floodwaters. Without his weapon, he used his immense strength to strike the Leviathan's head and gouge its eyes. His relentless assault eventually brought the monstrous creature down. Thrown off the Leviathan's body, Oya crashed against the cliffside, overwhelmed by a mix of emotions: pain, triumph, and exhaustion. After what felt like an eternity, he managed to stand and watched as the floodwaters consumed the lifeless beast. As Oya's emotions swung between laughter and tears, he was suddenly interrupted by the sound of wings. Before he could react, a blade struck him from behind, wounding him fatally. He felt a surge of anger, but was too weak to fight back. A cold numbness spread through his body, and his vision began to blur. The distant sound of an angelic trumpet filled his ears, marking the flood's complete rise. As the waters reached the heavens, all life on earth was wiped out. Only Noah and his sons, names Marwi had once seen on a stone tablet, survived aboard Noah's Ark, which carried animals of every kind. As the giants met their end, legends say their spirits never found peace. Filled with anger and a thirst for revenge, they turned into malevolent beings. This is the story told briefly in the apocryphal Book of Giants, which we introduced at the start of this episode. There are a few versions of the Book of Giants, one found among the Dead Sea Scrolls in 1947, written in Aramaic, and another from the Manichaean tradition, dating back to around 250 CE and attributed to Mani, the founder of the Gnostic religion Manichaeanism. Unfortunately, both versions are incomplete and fragmented, leaving us with only partial insights into the text and its full message, including its ending. Although the main storylines are quite similar, there are some differences between the versions. In the Aramaic version, Enoch delivers a vague but ominous warning. He says that the giants, who are the sons of the Watchers, will face judgment for their destructive actions. The story ends abruptly, leaving us guessing about what happens to Ma, Oya, and Haya. It's likely their fate is as grim as that of their fathers, as suggested in the Book of Enoch. In contrast, the Manichaean version provides a somewhat more detailed, though still mysterious, conclusion. Here, Oya and Haya, sons of the main Watchers, face a final battle with the biblical sea monster Leviathan and the archangel Raphael. Enoch appears somewhat detached from the events, which fits with the mystical and inspiring experiences described in his own book. Enoch is a mysterious figure in the Bible, mentioned briefly in Genesis 5:24, where it says that God took him away. This enigmatic statement has led to speculation that Enoch was taken to heaven without dying. As Noah's great-great-grandfather, Enoch's extraordinary lineage adds a layer of significance and eeriness to Ma's vision of Noah's name on the tablet. It suggests that only a descendant of someone as remarkable as Enoch would be destined to survive the impending flood. In the Book of Enoch, Enoch plays a crucial role, even though the story is packed with dramatic events. He serves as a messenger between God and the fallen angels known as the Watchers, delivering God's verdict on their punishment. In the Book of Giants, Enoch does something similar with the giants, who are the offspring of these Watchers. He tries to offer them some hope, especially to a giant named Maui, but God has decreed no mercy. Enoch can only tell them they will face the same punishment as their fathers, the Watchers. In the Book of Enoch, the giants are depicted negatively. They are referred to as Nephilim and are portrayed as violent and dangerous. Unlike humans, they are more like wild animals, driven only by hunger and a desire to cause harm. They don't communicate or work together. They simply act as monsters with no purpose other than to eat and hurt others. In the Book of Giants, the giants are portrayed in a more relatable way. They experience troubling dreams and show emotions like worry and doubt. They discuss their fears and try to find solutions, making them seem more human despite their past misdeeds. One of the giants, Ma, even tries to seek guidance, hinting at a potential for change and redemption. However, some argue that the giants' actions are mainly self-serving. In the version from the Dead Sea Scrolls, it seems the giants pray only as a last-ditch effort to save themselves, rather than from genuine faith or a desire for forgiveness. Ma, for example, appears more focused on his own comfort and survival than on the damage he and the other giants have caused. This selfish attitude might explain why their prayers go unanswered, leading to their ultimate punishment of being wiped out. The mention of Gilgamesh in the Book of Giants is intriguing and highlights the text's connection with other ancient myths. The authors were likely familiar with Near Eastern mythology, and the inclusion of Gilgamesh suggests a link to the hero from the Sumerian epic. In this text, Gilgamesh shows his usual strength, but also expresses doubts about challenging the divine. This may emphasize the overwhelming power of the biblical god, suggesting that if even a legendary hero like Gilgamesh hesitates, ordinary humans should be cautious. This portrayal contrasts with the fearless Gilgamesh of Mesopotamian mythology, who is depicted as a semi-divine figure with immense strength and a quest for immortality. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, he is described as 2/3 god and 1/3 man, known for his epic journey where he encounters gods and monsters. His story ultimately reveals that human life is finite, and that true immortality comes from lasting achievements and deeds. In the Dead Sea Scrolls version of the Book of Giants, Gilgamesh plays a key role as an authority figure. He reassures Oya that their troubling dreams are meant for mortal rulers, not for them. The fact that the giants sought out Enoch for advice highlights how serious their situation was and how highly regarded Enoch must have been. With the world in turmoil, it's striking that the giants turned to a human for guidance, which shows their desperation and the exceptional reputation of Enoch. This is especially surprising given that, normally, giants wouldn't seek help from a human. Ma's journey to meet Enoch is quite remarkable, described as a cosmic adventure through various realms. He must pass by the sun to reach the isolated place where Enoch lives. This journey is similar to the one described in the Book of Enoch, where Enoch himself travels through dangerous, otherworldly places with the help of angels. In some versions, Ma is said to fly, a trait that the giants in the Dead Sea Scrolls also have. possibly inherited from their angelic fathers. Even though the giants in this version seem to have developed some level of awareness and civility, they still lack understanding of natural laws, like the dangers of flying too close to the sun. When Mawe reaches Enoch to ask about their troubling dreams, Enoch doesn't give an immediate answer. Instead, he says he will consult God for clarity. Despite his efforts, Enoch's meditation doesn't yield a solution, and he can only present the giants with a grim tablet similar to the one that sealed the fate of the Watchers. However, the text suggests that there might still be a chance for salvation through repentance. Ultimately, the Book of Giants is fascinating because it gives us more details about the Nephilim and presents them as complex beings with both wisdom and corruption. It's a key piece of ancient Jewish apocalyptic literature, shedding light on the religious and cosmic beliefs of its time. Whether from the Dead Sea Scrolls or the Manichaean tradition, both versions highlight important themes: the independence of angels from divine will, the dangers of their interactions with humans, and the consequences the giants bring to the world. So, why is the Book of Giants significant? It challenges us to think about what happens when the divine order is disrupted. It's not just a battle between angels and giants, it's a warning about the chaos that follows when sacred boundaries are crossed. This ancient text forces us to reconsider the impact of our actions, both celestial and human. As we wrap up, we're left to reflect on the legacies we might leave behind if we ignore the sacred and natural laws that guide us. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps us out. For more great content, check out our other videos on the end screen. Keep your minds open, and see you next time.